Okay. So today the attributes, we are just always saying the attributes, right? So what are the attribute names? It means if you open any data step, like this is a one data step, when you open the data set of variable, it means when you double click on the variable name, you can see the variable attributes, the column attributes. Okay, so which is a name, label, length, format, in format. Okay, and I think we are not discussed with the formats and in formats as well, right?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
think
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry that for that. So we'll discuss first formats and in format, then we'll move to attributes part. Okay, so formats and in formats part. So in generally, already in first class, we have discussed the basic information. The date part, it will start from the 1960 Jan 1 onwards. That is a 0 day, and next day is a first day, second day till now. When you enter the today date, it will read and it means it will count the total days from 1960 Jan 1 onwards to till date, and it will give the information into number of days. The units for the date is days. So in that case, so when we just entering the data, dt is equals to, okay, 23 Jan. Suppose example, I'm just declaring 1960. So it means the total days are 22 days, right? It including 0. So here we need to mention a D. So if you are not mentioning anything, this is pure character value. This is a pure character value. So if you want to, it means, so by seeing it is a one date format, but this is not the character value. So how could we read this data? It means for this, we have date literals are called a D. D indicates what D will do. So the D indicates it will just work like as a in format statement. It will work like as a in format statement. So what in format will do? It will convert non-standard data into standard data. In format data, it means it will convert not format data, it means not standard data into standardized data. So here we are seeing different type of declarations. It means first we have digits and next we have alphabets. After that we have again digits. So by seeing the data, we know that that is a date. But how system will know? So if you are declaring inside quotations purely, it means it consider it as a character variable. But now we are declaring a D. So D indicates it will work like as a in format statement. So it will read the data. It will read the data. It means how it will read the data. So yeah, so it will give the original value. So 23 Jan 1960, it means the date will start 01 Jan 1960, right? So till this day, how many days it will count? 22 days. So when you execute this program, what is the value for dt variable? Dt variable will get the value is 22. Okay, so if you want to see, so this automatically, so here we no need to declare any in format statement. Here we no need to declare any in format statement. So the date literals part, automatically the data it will read, it means it will convert non-standard into standardization and it will display original values. So it will not display these values, it will display original values. So what is the original value? 22 is the standard numerical original value, right? So that is the way the in format statement it will read. So always in format statement, it will convert, it means the mixed data into standardization. It means always numeric data. It will not convert into character at any time. So in format data, it means to standardize the data, it means it will convert the standard numerical values. Okay, so at the same way, you can declare even time part also, 10 hours, 10 minutes, okay, 10 seconds. So after that, you need to declare T. So Yeah, next, if you execute this program, automatically you can see the date part, it will read 1960 Jan 1 onwards, right? But the time part it will read. So after 11 hours 59 minutes, and it means 11 minutes 23 hours 59 minutes 59 seconds, then we'll get 000, right? So that part, it will start with the seconds level. So on that particular point wise, so how many hours? 10 hours 10 minutes 10 seconds. Always the time units are seconds and date units are days. So the date it will read in days format, days as a units. The time it will read seconds as a unit. So when we execute these two variables, when you open this the variable, you can see 36,610 seconds. Okay. So if we want to declare both in a single value, DTM is equals to. So first I am declaring date part. Next I am declaring colon, and then you can declare remaining values. Remaining values, declare semicolon. Okay. So when you execute, so here we are declaring date and time, both are in combination, right? So that is the reason you need to declare here DT indicates. So here it is reading date and time part combination. Now we have the question. So when we are declaring the date part individually, the units are days. It will read in days level. When we are declaring only time part, it will read seconds. It means the data units are seconds. But when we have the combination with the time and date part, so what are the units for these variables, this type of data? For this also, when the date is combined with second, it means time part, automatically the units are seconds only. Okay, when we have independent date, then only we have the units for date variable days. But when it is combination with the time part, automatically the units are seconds. Now you see here, when we execute this, so these many seconds till now, DTM. Okay, what is the date? 23 Jan 1960, 10 hours, 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So if you want to check the data, so you can multiply for this date, you need to multiply 24 into 60 into 60. Then it will convert into second. Again, you need to sum this value. Something we have, right? 36,610 seconds. So then you will get this answer. Then you will get this answer. Okay. So like that, the data it will read. So this is the basic point. But sometimes we may declare the data like this. DT1 input ID dollar and DT, two variables, cards 101. Okay. Okay, like this part, I have the dates. So when I execute this program in DT1 dataset, so the data, will it read properly? Will it read properly? No. Why? Because the data for the DT variable, so these data is not in a standard format to read the data. Why? It means here the date variable, the DT variable we declared as a numeric type and ID is a character type. It means, so here when we are entering the mixed data, will it read automatically? No. How it will read? It means DT variable, numeric variable, it will accept only numerical data. It won't accept any text related data, right? Everyone knows that. So when we execute this program, you may get the, it means by seeing the data, there is no any syntax error. Okay, syntax error, it means it will display in red color. Okay, but so see now what's the log will show us. See here, you can see the input buffer. This is the line, and after that you can see the invalid data for DT. So invalid data for DT and underscore error underscore is equals to 1. It means in execution level, the PDV is trying to insert the data into DT variable, but the data is not in a standard way. That is the reason it is not storing that value into DT variable. That is the reason. So so the PDV, when it means when it is reading the data, the data is not accepting to read the data into that particular variable. Automatically it will throw a error in runtime. It means execution time. So on that particular case, we will get underscore error underscore is equals to 1. When we have data type mismatch, and so in execution level, so then the data is not in a suitable format to read. Yesterday I have in last class I have shown you. So sometimes it will read the data. So if you are entering in character variable, if you are entering numeric data also, it will read, but the PDV, it will give the one note. That's it. But we won't get underscore error underscore is equals to 1. But now we are getting that. Why? Because when it is trying to push to store the value into that particular variable, but it is not storing. So on that particular time, the execution phase, it will throw an execution level error on that particular time. Underscore error underscore value, it will populate as a 1 by because we have data type conversion error here. So how can we overcome this part? For this, it means by seeing the data, we know that this is the date value. It means it is not a numeric and not a character. This is the date value. So date value, it means we need to read. So when we are just reading the date value, automatically which type of data it is a numeric type data by default, because date is the value, the standard value, and our SAS date, it will read 1960 Jan 1 onwards, right? So 1960 Jan 1 onwards, 23 Jan 2022, how many days it needs to read? Those many days as a first observation into those many days as a first observation into DT variable. So by it means this is not reading automatically. So on which case, it means how can we read this data? It means we need to standardize. So anything, any non-standard data, if you want to, if you are standardizing, we need to use one statement is called in format statement. So why, in which places we can use the in format statement? Any data time related values that are not reading properly. So if you want to standardize that data, it means convert into numerical standard value, we need to declare the in format statement. In format statement for which variable? DT variable. And next we need to declare the format, in format name, the selected date declaration part. So we have some names. So what are the names? In general, this type of data, we call it as a date 9 dot format. This type of data, we call it as a date 9 dot format. After that, we have one more date part is called 22/02/2022. Okay, this is we call in generally. First is date, and next month and next year. The length of the date is 10. So here 9 is a length. Here also 10 is a length. Okay. And next 2022 hyphen 02 hyphen 22. This is, we called it is a YYMMDD on 0 dot. Okay. In generally, you'll read the data in these cases only. We have too many other informats and formats for the date variables, but in generally, we'll use this only. I'll just send you a screenshot regarding the formats, informats related points, but basic points are this. Okay, here in format and format. So this will work as format and informat in both ways. Okay. Now, in this case, which informat we need to declare? We need to declare date 9 dot in format, because the date, this type of formats, we call it as a date 9 dot. So it means what is the syntax? We need to declare the statement name, and then we need to declare the variable name. After that, we need to declare the format name. So the dot indicates format. Dot indicates format. You need to remember always why we are declaring dot on every time for the formats or informats. It means it indicates the formats or informats. It is a must and should we need to declare. Otherwise, it won't consider as a any format and informat. Okay, when I execute the program, now see. Are we getting any warnings now? No. So when you see the data, you can see now. How many days till we have? 22,668 days. 22,668 days. Here also 14,642. So like that, we have the data. Okay. If suppose if you are giving any other format, will it read? If you are giving any other format, will it read automatically? No, it won't read, because always we need to declare the name with the same informat. It means we need to check the data. Is the data is on which informat? We need to declare only that informat only particularly. After that, okay. So in DT variable, so it is showing as a missing when you are declaring wrong informat name. Again now. Okay. Now, so here you can see only standard numerical data. If you want to see this data by display wise as a date 9 dot format, you can directly declare. 1 second, please. అదే 2 minutes, please. I will back in 2 minutes. Yeah, sorry. So if you want to print in the same display format, see now, you can see the same values, but the backend original values are numeric only. These are not the character. Okay, you can see now. So the numeric variable by default length is 8 and format is date9 dot and in format is date9 dot. The type of variable is numeric only. So it is not a character variable. Like that, you can declare even time value as well. TM, for example. Okay, if you are changing something, you can. So here also, for time also, we have 10 seconds, suppose example. This we call it as time 8 dot. We have only one informator format. In format level, we need to display some other part also. Sometimes we may collect only hours and minutes. For this, we need to declare it is time 5 dot. Okay, time 5 dot. So the end point, the numeric digit, what we are declaring, this is called length of that format. Okay, that is called length of that format. So now just declare the time values, right? So for this, we need to declare again. So in single statement, you can declare multiple informats, and in single statement, in single format statement, you can declare multiple formats as well. So here we need to declare time 8 dot. Here we need to declare. So now you can see, after reading, it will read as a seconds. Already we have discussed, right? So when you open the data, now you can see these are all the seconds data. So if you want to see this data into same data type structure, like a display as a format, so you need to declare, suppose 03 time 8 dot. So dot indicates format or in format. Now see the program and DT variable. This is the information for time part. So format, it is only for the display. It means in format, if suppose the data is in date9 dot in format level, right? If you are declaring any DDMYYY10 dot, will it read automatically? No. In format statement, it will check suitable in format, and then only it will convert non-standard data into standard. Okay, if you are declaring other in format name, will it read automatically? No. So it will check for the suitable in format name. Then only it will read non-standard data into standardization. Okay, but format After standardizing the data, it means pure numeric data. So we are declaring the format names. So we don't need to, it means particularly only we need to declare only these particular formats. We don't need to have any special category. So you can declare any format name. Like, so suppose here I can declare YYMMDD 10 dot. So now it will read as a YYMMDD 10 dot format. Okay, DT2. You can see year part, month part, and day part. Okay, now sometimes we have only, so in some cases a DT3 data step. Suppose example, in declaration part, I have 23/02/2020. So when I execute this program, we know that this is not in a date 9 dot in format standard. So when we execute this program, so will it read the these informat data into date 9 dot in format? No. So if you see the log information, only for that iteration, it will read remaining all values. Open this DT3 data step. So it is reading all other values because those are the suitable informat values. That is the reason it is reading. But this is not the suitable informat value. Now we have the question. How can we read when we have multiple date declaration? But the variable, when we are declaring the one variable, this variable accept only one informat only, or one format. It won't accept multiple informats and multiple formats. One variable, for one variable, we need to declare only one informat or one format. That's it. So how could we execute this data? It means for this, if any dates that is into SAS standard part, we have one only informat, which is not a format. It will work as a informat only. It is not a format to display, because that doesn't has any type of data declaration. So that informat is called any DTE. So it will read all type of date informat values, So when we execute this DT3 data now, automatically it will read the both date 9 dot and DDMMYY 10 dot. If we have any standard other informats also, automatically it will read. So any DT means always it includes all informat names. Okay, now see, are we getting any notes like previous? No, it is reading perfectly. See now, after that we are declaring one format name. Okay, now we have the question. So here in in time part level, if you observe here, so 3 indicates always we need a 0. We need to declare 0 before, right? So already we have declared 0 before. Is it reading in data step level? No. Why? Because the time part, it means it is a numeric data. When we have before 0, it will not consider as a the reasonable value, right? So we can just ignore that part. So in character level, it will accept, but numeric level, it won't accept if we before digit in zeros in before digit for any values, right? So so if I want to print 0 before 3 value, how could I print? For this, we have only format that is not a informat for time part. So may get the interview questions also, which which we have only a date informat value, and which we have only formative value for time. So for this, you need to tell the any dt dte is a informat value. It won't accept for the, it means there is no format declaration for any dt dt. At the same way, TOD 8 dot. TOD 8 dot. Based, it means if you have only hours and minutes, you can declare same 5 dot also, no issues. So now if you are executing this program, automatically you can see the DT3 is, you can observe 0 here, right? So it will display data into proper standard format. So like this, we need to just modify the data, and we have week dot. So weekday dot, too many formats, only format, not in formats. We have too many formats to declare. Okay, those I will just send you one screenshot tomorrow morning. Okay, you can practice that. So I think these are enough to read the format and informat names. Okay, you can please practice. Any questions here?
Hello.
Yes.
I have one question. In USA, they will mention first month and then date. So, what is the informat or format statement for it?
That is a big question for in our SAS. So in general, in our SAS, it will accept only these values. So,
Okay.
so here we are seeing the date values, like it means first DD, month, and year part. Here, year, month, day. There is no month, a day, year part format for us. Suppose example, we'll take an example for this. Okay, for one record, we'll just check, will it work or not? Okay, you are saying this is 0 to
Date 22 date.
suppose example 22 2022. Okay, 2022. So if you are declaring like mmdd yy 10 dot, okay, when you execute this program, will it read automatically? Yes, it is reading. Oh. 22 February 2022. Okay, if I want to display the same in a format wise, yeah, we have the yeah, I just haven't tried before this part. So we have same even, suppose example month. Is it clear for now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will work both ways, format and in format. Okay, sometimes if you have any questions, you can search in a little SAS book. That will, you can just, it means only concepts which we have covered here. Though it means don't practice other concepts. Okay, so yeah, you can try to find the examples in little SAS book or in SAS class also. Okay, I'll just show you tomorrow how the SAS class process will work. Okay, so this is the basic discussion about the formats and informats. Next, we'll discuss length label. Okay, already we have covered 2 parts, right? In attributes. So format and informats also 1 part. And next, a length and a label. The type declaration automatically it will take. So that is already we know. Now the name and length. Sorry.
Hi, Raghav.
Yes.
I got one doubt as this goes on. We take name, state, time. When it comes to the number, if someone's phone number, it goes through the same process, or is there anything we can add on that?
Sorry, I didn't get you. It means?
Like we are adding the variables as date, time, and all. When we need to take the number, so particular number, like a phone number, how can we add that?
So number indicates that is totally different. It is a 10 digits totally.
Yep.
So how we are entering? It means only numeric. It means we need to declare just like numeric. That's it. Then we need to enter the number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we need to enter the number. That's it. Okay. That is general numerical variable. So
okay.
In between, we are not declaring any commas like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So just need to remember the point is in format statement, it will read information which is non-standard into SAS format. Because
okay.
in our SAS format, we have only 2 data types. One is numeric and other one is character. So here we are not declaring any dollar symbol. It indicates the variable type is numeric. But the data declaration is totally different. It means the data declaration is non-standard for the numeric variable. So then what we need to do, we need to standardize that data. How can we standardize? By using in format statement, and then we need to declare the in format, the suitable in format name. Then we need to standardize the data. After that, if you want, you can display the format. Which format? That is not the format. You can declare any format name. That is not needed to only particular format you need to declare. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Now, so here, okay. So demo2 data set has, 4 observations and 3 variables. Now, data demo 3 set demo 2. Okay, here, if suppose I'm declaring, and here and one more thing. Okay, so when we execute this program, now everyone know that name variable, it will assign only 3 length, because when this variable is compiling first time, inside declaration letters are only 3. And next, it means it will assign the length for name variable only 3. It will not assign more than that, right? So after that, we are declaring more than 3 letters. So will it read the more than 3 letters? No. Why? Because each letter, it will take single byte of memory to store the data. Okay, but the name variable has only 3 bytes of memory. So that is the reason it will just read only 3 letters. So remaining all, it will ignore automatically. So when you open demo 4, that you can observe. Okay, you can use the output statement if you require. Okay, now what I'm doing here, suppose output length name. I'm declaring length is 5 or 10 dots, suppose example. When I execute this program, now see, you'll get one warning note. What is that note? Length of character variable name has been set. Use the length statement as a very first statement in the data step declaration, length of character variable. What it is showing? We are declaring the length statement. Where we are declaring? At the end of the program. It means after a name variable declaration. So length, once it is assigned, when it is a compile time, automatically that is the fixed length. It won't change at any time, Okay. How can we declare the required length before that variable creation? It means we need to declare that length statement before the variable creation, not the after variable creation. Means you should not declare the length statement after the variable creation. You need to declare before only. Now you need to declare length statement before, and then if you are executing a demo file data step, and then you see still we are getting any warnings. Any warnings are we getting now? No, perfectly. It is executing, no issues. So when you open the demo file, it is reading total value. So how many letters it will consider? Till 10 letters, you can declare any name. More than 10 we have, it means again we need to increase the length for the name variable. Okay, this is the basic information. Here also already the name variable length, when it is reading the set statement. So here only the name variable length, it will read 8, right? Because the input method, it will declare the all variable names lengths 8 only. Okay. In demo 2 data step, name variable length is 8 for a character variable. Here also 8 only. So if suppose, if I am declaring low length, sorry, a high length or low length, will it accept that high or low length? No, it won't accept any time. Same information you can see here. It won't accept any time. Why? Because the name variable length already it was set in the demo 2 data step itself only, right? So the it means the compilation phase or execution phase, after reading the set statement only, then it will check with the length statement. Okay, after reading the set statement only, then it will check with the set statement. So after reading, it means the name variable length already it was assigned with 8, and then we are assigning the length is 10. Will it accept? No, because the length is already set for the name variable. Okay, so I'm just explaining the different situations when in how many ways we may get the issues for you when we are using the length statement. Now you can see, if you are assigning the length here, automatically it will execute without any errors, because here we are declaring name variable length is 10 dot. So when we are comparing with a demo 2, it is more than that length, right? In demo 2, name variable length is 8. Now we are declaring 10. So automatically, so in 10 length, it means the in name variable, what values we have, up to 10 letters, it will read without any issues, right? That is the reason when we are storing the data, we need to think So what is the exact required length for that particular variable? So then only you need to assign that much of length for that variable. Okay. Now, sometimes here I am declaring 6. 6 means it is below. Here we have 8. Here we have 6. So then also we'll get one note. Okay, demo 3. So these are the general things we can discuss inside. And one more thing, I'll show you one more part also. This is the 11, 12 length part. Now, set, you can stack multiple data sets in single statement. This is the one method. Okay, you can stack multiple data step. It means stacking means everyone know, right? Adding the data. Merging means adding the variable level information. Okay, it will increase horizontally. When we are merging, it will increase horizontally, not the data. It means variable level information, it will increase. Stacking, it means it will increase the basic, it means the row level data. Now, when I'm just stacking with the 2 data steps, 11 and 12, now you can see this is one. Regularly we can face this node, and regularly without this node there is no day for our SAS programming. So when we are stacking with the multiple data step, always we need to cross check the length. It means in both data sets, when we are stacking, the length is the same for both the data sets, or do we have any difference? Will it read? No, automatically we need to update and then we need to come again. Okay. So here, if you want to, it means after this, if you want to set any length information, you can declare the length statement here. Length, a name, suppose $10 or $20. Okay, it is reading without any issues. Perfect. Now, okay, so this is regarding about the length statement. Now we have one more statement, is called label. Label, it means that is regularly displayed statement. Label, we need to declare the variable name. After that, you need to declare label name. Suppose student ID. Okay, student age, student name. So in single label statement, you can declare multiple variables names labels is equals to each. Like that, you can just update with even name also. So when you started with the label statement, then you need to declare the variable. After that, you need to declare the description of that label. So automatically it will assign the length for that variables. Okay, this is the label statement. And then we have some statements is or called the data step controlling statements. One is a rename, keep, drop. 3 statements. It means, for example, data, class, set, SAS. Okay, if you want to keep only particular variables, so we have 5 variables. If suppose I need only 2 variables, so for that you need to use the keep statement and you need to declare the variable names. So I'm just keeping only 2 variables in class 1 data step. Okay. So name, suppose if you are adding age, it means it will read only 3 variables. At the same way, we have the dropping concept also. So in this, I don't need any, it means we need to drop only height variable. We don't need to drop any other variables. How can we do? So for that, we need to keep all, so if one data set has 50 variables, so in that we don't require only 2 variables, the remaining all data we need. So how can we drop those required variable? By using drop statement. Drop statement, suppose WIGHT. Drop variable name. Okay, drop weight. Okay, now you can see in class 1 data step, there is no weight. Like that, we need to declare keep drop statements. Rename statement, it means rename statement. Suppose rename a variable name. Suppose sex variable is equals to gender. So when we execute this program, okay, so change the variable name, right, as a gender. So like that, we need to declare the rename statement as well. Okay. For this, you can declare same as an option as well. Class 2 keep, suppose name, age, height. Okay, in option level, we need to declare the is equals to in between variables and statements, and then you can declare the data set name. Okay. Okay, like that you can drop and rename also. So yeah. So please practice this concept, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I think I will conduct a paper discussion or conditional statements. So tomorrow onwards, very, very important classes, the conditional statements. It is very key role part. And the class will be also, it will take 1.5 hour to 2 hours class. So till now, it is fine now. And next class, we'll discuss very clearly what is exactly the conditional statements information. It is totally dependent on the PDB execution. Okay. And so, yeah, from today onwards, every class the same time, 8 p.m. only, UK time. So please ready at that time, and we'll just continue with the classes regularly. Thank you very much, and practice.
Thank you.
Regularly. And from next class onwards, so yeah, we'll take every class as a 1 hour 30 minutes regularly. So we'll cover more syllabus and more concepts in a single class itself. Okay, thank you all.
Hello, Raghava.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there any length for label? Label statement. Is there any default length?
Yes, we have that. I will just I think 40. I'll just confirm tomorrow. Okay, not
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Priyanka. Please ping me who are not in the group. I'll just add them, okay? In WhatsApp. Okay, so don't miss from next classes onwards. We'll discuss in detail, and any questions we'll discuss in next class. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.